I can't do it. I don't understand the technology. That information is not in my brain. There's so much here, and it's just like that's one thing I can't add. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know how to do it.
Yeah, that's doing that though is when you realize you've been uploading monster images to your website, and you're like, oh, you're a dumbass.
That's why I'm not in charge of uploading anything to a client site.
That is why my website loads in 5 seconds.
Why is my website? Why is my WordPress site so slow?
Because my logo is 3,000.
Kyle uploaded your logo. Yeah, that's a terrible idea.
Are we live to all that?
We are live now. Just make sure everyone can hear us. Well, look, Susie can hear us. Well, she sees Kyle. She missed you, Kyle. So
I love Susie so much.
No accounting for taste. His PayPal is Kyle Roof at PayPal.
As long as people don't share my nudie photos.
All right. Okay, guys. Good to go.
Awesome.
All right. So, Ted, you taking this? Take it.
No. I'll let you lead today.
I have no lead. Episode 42. Is that right? I guessed. I literally guessed on that number. Is that right?
I hope it's right because that's what I put on YouTube.
That was a straight guess. I was like, it feels like 42.
I'm done this 42. For 42 weeks.
So we have some Black Friday deals, and now we're talking about some IMG tests. And I think every time we say Black Friday, we have to like a ba 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 ba.
You guys don't have your tequila shots lined up?
Oh, but I do.
I still have to go do some shopping, so I couldn't hit anything yet.
For me, the best part, the best day ever is like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, because it's literally a holiday. Like nobody expects you to get anything done. Like no one's like, hey, where's that fill in the blank? Nobody would do that on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, right?
Well,
unless you're working for a guy from Israel, then yeah, we have to.
That's the other problem I have too, because I'm in Milan. They do these conferences, and for some reason they don't know that Thanksgiving is a real holiday that you shouldn't do a conference between.
I've noticed two down times for the SEO industry, and one of them is midsummer. Things get slow midsummer, and the other one is coming into December. A lot of people take time off, and I see it in subscriptions because people don't want to pay for it when they're not using it, and so it dips midsummer and it dips for Christmas.
Makes sense.
Subscriptions make sense. I mean, that's a good present you can buy right there for $250. So.
Yeah, well,
that's a marketing pitch right now. Get the SEO in your life a core subscription.
There you go.
Yeah. Nothing says love like data.
Core.
Can I give one little shout out to the conference that I'm at? So I show up and I'm like, hey, I'm Kyle. And they're like, oh, you're a speaker, and they give you this bottle. This is actually beer, but it's got like a full on champagne type top. I will go to any conference that will give me this. I don't care where it is or what it's at. But as soon as this is yours, and I was like, I'm so glad I'm here. This is why I came.
Yeah. Kyle is an affordable keynote.
All you need is one champagne style bottle of beer, which probably only costs like $10.
Before.
I'm like, yes, I will speak at your conference. Where is it? I don't care. All right. Should we roll this one? We've talked too
long. Sure.
Awkward silence.
I forgot I was piloting the slides. So, Internet Marketing Gold. Have you heard of this one yet? Is it a new website to you?
If it is, welcome. Thank you for your first time listening to SEO Fight Club. We appreciate you coming on.
Well, Internet Marketing Gold is a community website. We keep adding more and more to it. The thing that's really exciting about it this week is that our SEO single variable testers are inputting tests that they've done. And so that's all kicking up. And right now, that's all free and open to the public. You know, if you have a free account, you just sign up and you can get in and see what that's like and what it's all about. So it may not be free forever. So get in there and get some value while it costs you nothing to check it out. But what do you think of the testing section so far?
That's really the section that I've been using the most since you guys launched it, and you haven't even had it open very long. But to me, having those specifications there, it helps learn the tool you're getting ready to release to everybody. It helps with the thought process of what you guys do for testing, because what I do for testing is in the real world. I want to see how, if Kyle or Ted says this, then what does it mean in the real world? And that's where the implementation is where I test. So seeing it from your guys' perspective is actually pretty cool. And then there's not only Ted stuff is in there, Ryan's got some stuff in there now too. So, and he's doing the single variable, which was what Kyle does. So seeing those two different processes is also important. So I actually appreciate how you guys have that set up.
Yeah, we allow for all different kinds of testing, and so if people are testing, we want to know about it. And if you want somewhere to publish your experiments, reach out to us. We'll get you access. All right. Well, I will hit click. Tell us about SEO this week.
Oh, the production value of this is so high.
Yeah. We're pros.
So high.
7 news stories this week. We got 2 tips on how to leverage Google Jobs and featured snippets to get more traffic, a couple tools, and then we look at a couple surveys and analyze the results and point out how conflicting they are, but still useful. So those are pretty cool.
Yeah, excellent. So yeah, definitely check out SEO this week. It's a huge time saver. So if you haven't seen that, highly recommend you do. So it's Black Friday. Does anybody look forward to this time of year? Open up their wallet?
Personally, I don't understand Black Friday. I mean, I get it. Like, we all have the day off. We can go mob Sears. Are they still a thing?
Yeah, well, some places.
Yeah, I mean, traditionally, it's the time of year when you have, 3 or 4 SKUs that you discount it close to cost, which creates a mad rush on your store. And then you run out of that product, but you have all these people in your store. And you're like, well, I guess you have to look around then.
well, Black Friday is when retail would actually get into the good.
Yeah.
They would lose money for 10 months, and then they would make money from here. Which, by the way, don't invest in retail. That's got to be the worst idea ever. If you're going to be in an industry that's going to lose money for 10 months and then instantly make money on one day.
They don't all lose money for 10 months. What ends up happening is they make 80% of their revenue in Q4. So over like a 3-month period.
80% in 3 months. Excuse me.
But you have to understand their margins. Like, their markups are so good that their operating costs are covered by 7 to 15% anyway.
Then why does April suck?
What's that?
Are people not buying clothes in April?
Credit cards.
Well, there's just so much gift giving in Q4. There's just so much, but there are other spikes throughout the day. Mother's Day is a good retail day. It's just,
but they don't call it Black Mother's Day.
That'd be racist.
It's insane that like you'd run an industry where you're gonna make all your money back and the profit on basically one day.
Yeah.
Well,
that's gotta be the worst thing ever.
Retail. It's gonna be interesting to like research who decided Black Friday. That's the name we're gonna name it.
Well,
And
because you get into the black, so you go from the red to the black.
to the red to the black, maybe. But would the consumer pick that up? I think there's probably another reason behind it. And then
No, that's where the name does come
that's
from.
where the name comes
Yeah,
from.
the idea that you go from the red ink to the black ink.
To the black.
You've made a profit.
Cool. And then remember, it was Black Friday and then Cyber Monday, and now even the digital platforms are having their Black Friday sales versus their Cyber Monday.
This whole week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting how that's kind of, we all seen the transition from retail in the e-commerce, and even now, like I would prefer to buy stuff in the e-commerce platform than go into the store, unless I know that store has a specialty thing. So I live in Yuma, and nothing has a specialty thing, so I don't have to leave my house no more.
Yuma, the thriving metropolis of
Yuma
figs.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see that carry over in the transition, and how we as marketers kind of embrace that and turn, like back, really, literally, it was Cyber Monday. That's where digital and all us online folks really worried about. We wanted to be ready for that because everyone was going to be searching for those type of sales on the internet, even people who didn't normally buy from the internet. And now it's kind of transitioned over to Black Friday. So are we going to change that, the whole model, where it's like kind of a Black Weekend or something? I don't know. I don't have a catchy tone or name for it, but will that progress into something else? It'd be interesting to see.
Well, I think it's going to be extended because there's a hard shipping cutoff for Christmas. So there's only so many days between Black Friday and when you no longer need to order presents for anyone.
Yeah.
And so that shipping cutoff is extreme. So people get very aggressive in how close to that cutoff they can get. So the easy win is to start earlier and earlier.
That's true. I've seen the sales open up earlier and then they stay open longer. I guess it makes sense that they're using the shipping to do that.
Yeah, because if you get an extra day of shipping in during holiday season, for these online retailers, that day is millions of dollars of revenue. So one extra day of just getting packages sent out the door is a big deal. And, for us marketers, specifically commission-based marketers, online retail is very treacherous because since they make 80% of their revenue in Q4, typically commission-based people get fired at the end of Q3, so they don't have to pay most of the gains. And
is that when they fired you, Ted? When you got fired from? Is that when they let you go?
Yeah, that all fell apart right before Q4 because that's when they planned it to fall apart. And that's one of the things. So when you negotiate your commission contracts, you need to make sure that you get paid commissions for at least 3 months after you're terminated. So if they're going to not pay you for Q4, they should at least give you a quarter of notice.
Yeah,
I like that. Those MFers did you wrong.
Well, I'd do so much better now. The mistake was theirs. So I'm happy about the arrangement. I thought it was
That's good to hear, but I mean, your story makes me sad every time I hear
it. Well, it's very common. The second you're commission based, it gets treacherous like that. And if you really succeed in a commission based deal, like the second you become the highest paid employee of a company because you're knocking it out of the park, they want to kill you. I mean, it is, you have to be ready to walk, that political line of having the owner of the business think you're overpaid because you knock it out of the park. And they'll come back to you. They'll try to renegotiate. They'll be like, well, you're paid too much. We want to bring that back down to earth. And you got to really fight to maintain your peace. It's hard. It's not for everyone. So, but I found in SEO that, commission-based income was where the biggest dollars were if you're just working a day job with one client. But it's not for everyone, and it was tough. It was hard to do. A lot of 60 hours.
It sounds like a terrible idea. Like, from everything that you've described, it sounds like the worst idea I've ever heard.
Okay, now that you depressed everyone for Thanksgiving.
Well,
what kind of cool deals do you have, Kyle?
How much revenue did you bring them? For them to say, like, we're gonna fire you.
It wasn't all me, but I helped the company grow from 5 million a year to 65 million a year.
And let's pretend that you were owed $1 million of that, and they wanted to give you grief about it because that was 1/65th of their growth.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy business. But they might have been actually underwater in April. I don't know. You never know, because so much of the data at any business is hidden. So you never know all the details. My business units were always a profit center. So the rest of the business units, maybe not.
All right, let's get to the happy stuff. Let's get to the Black Friday deals instead of Ted's sad experience. Well, it actually wasn't sad. I mean, the sad part was I stayed too long. I saw you cry on stage. Don't tell me it was sad.
Well, no. That wasn't about online retail. That was about my previous startup.
I'm teasing.
I created another technology that was
I'm teasing.
Yeah, no. Wrong company.
I'm teasing. I know. All right, so on this slide, we're going to run through some stuff. If you've signed up for IMG, you're going to get an email with this information, so you don't have to like furiously write it down. But if you're watching right now and you're not in IMG, just sign up and you will actually get this email. We'll actually then, if email works, even if you sign up after you see this, it could be a little bit later, you will still get this email, so you don't have to like write all this information down. Of course, if you see something you like, obviously write it down and go for it. But we will email this to people that are on the IMG email list, is the point of this slide. Click. All right, we need to point out some people that have been very good to us and also have really good lists. So Fat Frog Media, you can check them out for their list. And then there's some overlap, but it's actually not a lot. These are actually kind of different groups. So Fat Frog Media, check out their Black Friday deals. They have a great list. Craig Campbell, my favorite dude from Scotland. He also has a really good list as well for some Black Friday things, and bloggingjoy.com. You can check them out as well. Different lists, like, because there's a little overlap, but not much, because they're in different industries and different niches and different interests as well. So these are 3 really good ones that we found that work with us. They work with IMG. And they're friends, but they've also done a really good job of compiling a lot of stuff. So if you're looking for like, where can I go for a good list of things? These are 3 really good examples. So Fat Frog Media, Craig Campbell SEO, and Blogging Joy are 3 decent places to go to find your SEO deals or your Black Friday digital marketing deals. Self-serving promotion time. Did you guys know that I released an on-page course? I've heard it's good.
I've heard good things about it.
I've heard it's great. So you can get it. It's what do we charge? $7.95. You can get it for half price off.
What do we charge?
I don't even know. I'm actually not even charged. Did you know I'm not in charge of the price of my own course? If you decide to get a marketing team, which I recommend because I suck at marketing for my own stuff, you're not in charge of what you charge. The marketing team is, and that's a new experience. But we're doing 50% off. If you like the nonsense that I talk about on this thing, if you've seen me speak before, it's 7.5 hours of videos. It's pretty decent, and it's how I do SEO. I mean, that's what it comes down to. If you like the way I talk about SEO, this is how I do SEO. That's the bottom line of what it is. If you don't like how I talk about SEO, this is not the course for you, and I'm okay with that. We're still friends. But this is how I do it, and I put it in this course, and that's what it is. And then Pop has a promo as well. We're doing the agency level subscription yearly, which is $780. We're doing it for the lower tier price of $390. So if you want to do it, get all the agency level type things for the yearly cost, you can do that for $390, and the promo code is CyberPop19. I hate promoting my own stuff. Like, I literally hate that. Look, my thought process is, if you like what I'm talking about, then you'll like this. If you don't, that's fine. It's how I want to pitch it. The marketing team doesn't like me when I say that. I'm like, I don't know. This is our stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Ted.
I try to go a different route. Like, while everybody's trying to get, the world to part with their money, I try to go the opposite direction. So when everybody's zigging on deals, I zag on value. So I'm doubling down on putting tons of new awesome capabilities in Cora, and it's going to be fantastic. So Cora's getting better in a hurry.
You still have to do a deal, though. It's Black Friday. We next year we'll sort it out. We'll get you a good deal. You have to do something.
Ted will raise the price to $500, and Black Friday he'll give you $250.
There you go. I mean, literally, that's how it works. That's how it works. The price went up. We'll Black Friday it for that. We'll learn you. We'll learn you. But I personally, the thing that I struggle the most with is promoting my own stuff. I'm terrible at it, and it's embarrassing for me to do, because I feel like my stuff is good. Like, maybe it's not, but I feel like it's pretty good. But it's hard for me to say, like, I think this is good. I think this will help you. It's a hard thing that I struggle with in terms of promoting my own shit. So IMG peeps. So we reached out to our community on people that are doing Black Friday sales. So these are in no particular order. Huge disclaimer: don't contact Clint if you had a bad experience. He's not gonna do well with that. We have no affiliation with these other than they're IMG people, and we're happy to promote their stuff. And they reached out to us. These are in the order that they were received, but we have no affiliation with these. We're not making any money off of any of this. Don't call me. I mean, literally, don't call me. Like, I pinged their support. They didn't get back to me. Kyle, can you help? No, I cannot. Clint cannot. Ted cannot. These are things. But we like these people a lot. We know them personally, but that's as far as it goes. There's no guarantee on anything of anything. I think we're completely legally covered. Moving on. Mads Singers. Mads is awesome. So he's from Copenhagen. He lives right now in the Philippines. He has this effective management mastery. So he has a system. It's called DISC. It's similar to Myers-Briggs in terms of personality test. But the idea is it's more focused on employment. So the idea is that you have different people that need to do different things in your agency. They're going to have different personalities. And just because you've talked to somebody and they're not like alpha number one go-getter, doesn't mean they're bad for your company, depending on the role that they need to fulfill. That's what Mass does. So he's got his course on how to effectively hire. He has massive clients, like top name clients. They bring him in to help them figure out how to hire. So he's doing this 25% discount. Totally check that out. Next one is from Bree. Ted, you know Bree.
Yeah, Bree's awesome.
Bree's amazing. Bree is the founder of DMSS, which is a conference that both Ted and I have spoken at several times. It's one of my favorite conferences in the world. You can't beat Bali. So he has a backlink outreach program that he's putting together. He's getting 50% off, and actually, it's like the most low key sell of all time. Just email me. He's like, just email me and we'll talk about it. But that's the kind of guy that he is. Just to email him and you guys can work out what you guys are doing. Like, and he's pretty laid back. He's got a full service agency. Handle that. SEO Warlords. So he's been really active in the IMG chat groups. Ted, you've probably seen him, Clint too, as well. So he has aged, authoritative, manual outreach niche backlinks, and you can do that. The SEO BH Black Hat World, SEO Black Hat World sample is one of the terms, but it's a full-on whole deal. Where there is a minimum spend. I think the minimum spend is $1,500, so there's a lot to it, but you get a ton of stuff. Where I'm looking at this list, I can't even understand it, how big it is. There's a lot going on here. So like if you're in a position where you have an agency where you're buying a lot of links, this is the kind of deal that could probably help you out a lot, where you're going to get a bunch of links through this type of service and get them at a deal. And the other thing too that he said is that it locks in the deal. So there's that minimum retainer of $1,500, but that locks that in that price. So if you're in a position where you have an agency or you're doing a lot of link building on your own, you can lock in the price and get a lot of links out of this guy. I mean, there's a ton here. I'm looking at his write-up. I don't understand these words. When you order 200 plus RD, referring domains, sample link at something 14 to 21 days, TAT. I don't even know what TAT means.
Turnaround time.
You look at you. You'll get free upgrade to 500 plus links. So if you order the package at 200 links, you're gonna get 500 plus links. Actually, not even links, referring domains. He's gonna send a sample link so you can actually see what's going on ahead of time. 5 cents ahead of time. You can even then take that too. That's one special. You get buy 5 200 referring domain links, 14, 20 days TAT turnaround time. Thank you, Clint. And you get a free upgrade to 5 times 5x, 500 plus referring domains. That's a huge deal. I don't know. Lots going on there. And tons of stuff. He's giving samples. So check it out.
That offer actually sounds good because it's referring to domains. That's how I worry about my link building. There's trust flow and topical trust flow and DR and UR and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I care about referring domains. So that he's presenting it in that way is actually pretty cool. So
I totally agree. And if he has a guaranteed 2 to 3 week turnaround, that's fast.
Yeah, for outreach it is.
I can't do that in my own agency. We tell clients like 6 to 8 weeks on turnaround. So that means he's got a huge list that he can tap into to get the links in 2 to 3 weeks. Is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then you can get all the referring domains. And like you said, I don't care about backlinks. I care about referring domains. And that's I like that marker a lot because you're going to get 2 to 500 referring domains. Actually, what you're doing is you're buying the 200 price and you're getting 500.
Yeah. And you get 500 of them. Maybe they have no power, but now you have 500 referring domains you can build backlinks to and save your site the drama. So you boost up the backlinks versus worrying about your stuff. That's pretty good.
You also have to think like 500 referring domains at $1,500, that's $3 a link.
A link.
300 of referring domain. And as you know, like depending on the domain, you're going to get more than one link out of a domain because they have stuff in the sidebar and all that.
But you can get a TED special, 50,000 site-wide footer links.
$3 a referring domain is a pretty decent price. Anyway, what's next on the ding?
Oh, you skipped one.
Yep.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I skip?
Talk so long about Breeze, you forget the authoritative manual outreach niche backlink.
Bree. Oh, I'm so sorry, Bree. I love you so much.
We mentioned Breeze.
Yeah, you mentioned Breeze,
Yeah,
but what is
SEO Warlords.
SEO Warlord? Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
SEO Warlord is separate. That's separate. So Bree, he has 50% off his quality backlink outreach. So he's doing manual outreach
Okay.
through his agency.
And then SEO Warlords is what we were just talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's actually right. Yeah.
Okay. See, your transition was horrible there. I didn't even know.
It was terrible. It was my fault.
God, we're still talking about Bree. It's gonna go on forever.
Damn it, my fault. But so for Bree, by the way, so what he's looking at, so his agency does manual outreach, and basically what you're looking at is like a DA20 kind of site, but he also looks at the visitors, so minimum of 100 visitors per month to the site. So he's talking about like he's looking at sites that have actual traffic of about 100 visitors a month. A DA20 with 100 visitors, 20 to 30 is basically $130 per link. 31 to 50 DA is 160. That's a pretty nice price because he's also then adding in the traffic.
Yeah,
which I think a lot of us agree is probably the biggest metric.
Well, most people miss out on that because they're trying to do outreach on their own, and then just if you do it enough, you'll just realize that people are like, "Oh, sure, $50, and I'll put it on my site." But that site is pretty much useless. So, having that traffic filter is just helpful.
Exactly right. The traffic filter I think is huge. So Bree's doing that is basically 50% off links. So that's 130 to 160 is what he's doing. And then I really apologize for that. Terrible. Oh, and it goes on. So DA plus 50, you're looking at 180 as well. So those are really decent prices. And then it was SEO Warlords was doing the really great deal with all of those referring domains that he's doing for in the turnaround of 2 to 3 weeks for that minimum retainer. Oh no! He does not have. Bree had the minimum. I'm the worst. Can we start this whole thing?
That is why I was confused.
I was confused. I was reading it wrong.
These deals will not be honored. You have to go reach out to them.
Damn it! Who's it? Who put me in charge of this? I blame everybody else but me.
Well, let's mess up some other deals.
Here's all I want to say. So to be clear, Bree has the minimum retainer. SEO Warlords does not. You can get a ton of referring domains for an amazing price. Let's move on. FIYTO, or is that where we're at? Because I can't see what we're looking at.
That's where we're at.
So this is a fun thing. So I met this guy about a month ago, and he's built this platform. And the idea is that you can actually build cards. Maybe call them Pinterest style, but not quite. Trello is what they kind of look like. It's like Trello meets Pinterest. Maybe is a decent description, and he might hate me for saying that. But it's the idea that you can kind of compile information that is good for you. But as SEOs, you can create this for backlinks. So there are all these do follow backlinks. They can get traffic, they can get links, you can hit them with links. And so you can kind of create this, kind of get into a platform that a lot of people don't know about, this FYI.to. So you get these Google, it's as he describes it as Google friendly platforms. And you can check that out. It's probably a good thing to add to your Web 2.0s that you might do, and some tiered backlinking that you do. This is probably a great way to get into tiered backlink that is not very expensive at all. Yeah. I know, Clint, you do a lot with tiered backlink. I think this is one that is probably a decent one to look into because people aren't abusing it yet. So you can be the first abuser.
Be the first abuser. Yeah, it's a content curation platform. You paste your links into it, and then it creates a card for you. And right. Those are indexable and send back and have power. It is a newer domain, so it's still got some stuff to do, but there's a lot of opportunities there, I think. So.
Next one, SEO Butler. If you guys haven't met Jonathan, the founder of he is a wonderful person. He's a great guy. He's really sharp. Really knows what he's talking about, and he's built SEO Butler, which is kind of a full service platform to get a lot of different links. So he's doing, as he calls, a huge Black Friday deal. Again, it's full service. So like content, he's looking at 10% off all orders. And then if you are over 10,000 words, you're 20% off on your content. CRO video audits. So like how to do your conversion rate observation better, 25% off. Guest posts, $25 off all of those. Social signals, 40% off. Citation service off. 20 press release, 20% off. It's a huge deal. We played a lot with SEO Autopilot. So if you're familiar with that, this is a similar service. Same kind of concept where you can go and get like all things done in one place. And these are massive, massive deals. So if you like that concept where you can get that white label fulfillment, get links from across a lot of different things, SEO Butler is fantastic. And they're just running a ton of deals. Next one is Spinjitzu Studio Pro. You can get the lifetime access for only $279. They had an early bird special because I know Spinjitzu is new, and the member of IMG, he's actually pinged me a couple times where he's spoken about what he's doing with Spinjitzu. So you're looking for basically what it is spinning content, but in an AI kind of way. So you can grab it for $279, and this offer also includes a free upgrade to their PBN builder, and which is the next software they're coming out with. So they've got the Spinjitzu PBN builder is coming next. If you get in with the $279, you actually then get access to the next software as well on that deal. As he says, their goals are to help you rank higher with better, more relevant backlinks, improve your crawl rates by drip feeding your PBNs in with the kind of high relevancy content that search engines love, and improve your EAT using the world's only privacy policy spinner, which is pretty hot. So they're spinning the privacy policy of a unique privacy policy, and it's as they say, it's easy to create a beautiful long length downloadable PDF guide so that your blogs look legitimate. Tons of features through Spinjitzu, 100% automated, HTML unordered lists, image spinner, RSS feed, Browsio integration, tons of stuff going on with this. And they're contributors to IMG. So like if you're in the IMG Skype or the platform, what's fun is the people that are listening, these are the people that are hanging out. These are the people that are in the group, which is a lot of fun. I'm going to bing for the next, if we're not next. SE Owl is 50% off. They have every subscription plan is 50% off with Black Friday 2K19. So they do link monitoring, and the idea is you put the links in that you built, and they'll monitor them if they drop. So you can see like, hey, we just dropped a lot of rank. What happened? You can look and see if you've lost the links that you built. So they're doing link monitoring for you, and their platforms are all their plans are 50% off. The next one is Surfer. Have you guys heard of Surfer? Is that on your radar?
I think I've seen that tool around somewhere.
They could be a competitor, but we're happy. I met these guys actually in Chiang Mai, and they're super nice guys, and they're super great. And the thing about our industry is that between Surfer and Quora and Pop, I doubt we have 1% of the market share. So while they are a competitor, they're wonderful guys. They're very nice, and there's no competition. I mean, I'm happy to help them. Ted, you and I are friends. We're happy to help each other. Like, I don't mind promoting their thing at all. But they're doing all their annual subscriptions at 30% off. So as an example, the pro subscription, which is $9.99, you can get that for $6.93 is the idea. So all their annual subscriptions are 30% off. Just go to surfer.com/Black Friday, and you get that deal. The last one of an IMG person is for hosting. Cloud hosting from $1 at stablepoint.com. So you get unlimited hosting with 80 plus server locations worldwide, and they have 24/7 support on demand and fast SSD. Stablepoint. So you can go to them, and it's stablepoint.com/cloud hosting to get cloud hosting for $1. I use cloud hosting all the time. Clint, you're getting into the SaaS game.
I am.
Are you using any cloud hosting right now? Are you an AWS guy? Something else?
Yeah, I was I was using SiteGround's cloud stuff. I'm moving some of that off of there, but I actually use a lot of cloud hosting sites like AWS, etc., for link building. So
Yeah. So if you can get cloud hosting for $1, you could put up all of your spam sites.
yeah.
And spam the F out of them for $1. You're welcome, stablepoint.com.
And that's really, if you look, you had a list in there. You had a list of some of the hosts they were on. It doing that, especially if you're doing the PBN game, is really smart, and it's hard, incredibly hard to do it. There's only a few. Now there's two that I know of. There's Stablepoint now, and then PBN.hosting, who's also having a Black Friday sale. They
Yeah.
they do the same thing. They're using all those cloud hosts that everyone sees, and they're helping you out with your device diversity and reducing your hosting costs. So I'd jump on that if you have the chance.
Yeah, if that's your game, that's what you want to do. Also, PBN.hosting, which is in our list. Why didn't they ping us? We're all friends.
I know.
What happened? I don't even know. But these are the kinds of things you want to jump on if you're building PBNs, if you're doing that type of thing. Like these are the sites you want to get onto, because you can then spread your risk across so many IPs.
You let them handle the technical stuff, and it makes it a lot easier for you, because PBNs can be expensive. So
yeah, I'm gonna interject a very last minute Black Friday special.
Please.
It's from Derek Iwaziuk from the communities. He has 20% off regular guest post packages, special package deals on combo niche authority sites, and Google News approved post packages. He says just look up Digital Push, the Facebook group.
Digital
Push?
Yep.
There you go. Derek is a huge friend of the show. He's been really good to us. I like him a lot.
Sounds like an online porn name. Got a Digital
Could
Push.
be.
Did you mention Madge's offer?
I was going to say, we didn't get Madge's offer. Where's that at?
Last slide. Go back. Right there. MagicPR.net. He's got a special offer. He brought back his old pricing. He's got bronze, silver, and gold packages. If you're looking to rank a Google map or something like that, I suggest go with the silver. Imagine probably hate me because he want more people buying the gold, but really the silver.
No. You need to go gold because it includes a pop report.
Oh yeah,
he pops things at gold.
The fancy pop report. Yeah.
Have you guys heard of Page Optimizer Pro? Is that a thing on your radar? So we partnered together. You get Page Optimizer Pro at the gold level.
Oh, fancy. Yeah, I'm just gonna buy the silver.
Go gold. Go gold.
Go gold.
Get stuff that ranks.
That's really cool though, because you can plug those in. If you're one of those folks that offers local SEO at really cheap prices and you keep your margins down, honestly, you probably just build a whole business off of Madge PR service. And also, I am actually getting in on the PR game with Madge, and I have 10 domains already set up with him. He's just working on the technical stuff, and all 10 of the domains that I got are Google News approved. And once you publish with Madge, you'll also hit mine. So that's a cool feature, I think.
Google News approved is huge.
Yeah, getting him in there. He's got it. I don't know if he wants any one of those, but he's got a really good system to get those in there. And I paid him some money. And
I personally know how many sites he has.
Yeah.
That are Google News approved, and it is impressive.
Yeah, that he's actually got
very impressive. He's the real deal. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
The stuff he does is very impressive.
Plus, order his thing and reverse engineer the backlinks. That's all I'm going to tell you.
There you go. Yeah, and learn SEO. I mean, we talk about all the time that the secret is hiding in plain sight. So if you get a service that's killing it, you can probably reverse engineer it and see how it goes, and then decide it. And I can tell you with Madge, it's better just to pay for it.
Yeah, it is.
Like you can reverse. Like I can't do it cheaper than he's doing,
or as fast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like if you want that's the guy you need to go to. But
Yep.
so we mentioned earlier that there's an email that's going out that has the things, but we also found some from the web. These are the ones we found: SiteGround, Ninja Outreach, Longtail Pro, Spencer Haas, who's excellent. Keyword Finder, SEO Press Elementor, blah, 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 blah. Those are all going out, so you can link. There's a link to all those if you want to check them out. Personally, I like all those things, but they're all good. So the last big announcement is that we have tests going into IMG now. So the tests that they're being loaded up into IMG. Ted, you put 12 tests in, and some of the things that I found interesting where a lot were centered around kind of broken things that aren't working, that might be crawled by Google, and Google sees them as not working, such as broken images, broken CSS includes, broken script includes. Do you want to chat a little bit about that?
Yeah. So the thing we noticed was that in Google Search Console, we found this wealth of big data, like a huge amount of data was going into types of errors. And Google's maintaining a database of these errors on a URL by URL basis. So it is a massive amount of data that they put into Search Console, and they wouldn't make that kind of investment unless there was a reason why. And so when we saw, just the scale of that error data they're harvesting from all over the web, we're like, what's the deal? What are they getting from this? So we started running tests right away. And what we found.
Hit the next slide. There you go.
Yeah. So this is one of them. So we are looking at the broken CSS includes. Turns out this one, not a factor.
For those that don't know, what does includes mean?
You create a tag that references a CSS file that is not embedded in the HTML of the page. So it's usually a standalone file with your CSS styles. And so you'd make a link rel style sheet, and you put in the href to the file that has the styles, and it gets included on the page. Well, what if that link to that external style sheet was a 404 link? It was broken. So that's what we are testing. Google could care less about that type of error. Now, other errors, broken images on your page, broken links on your page, they appear to affect your rankings. And we've tested them multiple times, and there's some smoke there. We want to test it more, but it does look like certain types of errors are indeed factors.
And that's what I loved, and that's why I like that image a lot on the last one, was to show, like, so this one doesn't look like it, but there are others that do, and those are the things that are in IMG Pose right now, and that's all free for everybody to get to at this moment. It's not behind a paywall. Ryan Huff did some unique content tests for us. A couple of years ago, I did some tests, and I found that the bar to get past the duplicate content filter was 51%. And Ryan wanted to recheck that. And what he found in some of his new tests are that it's probably at 60%, which is still a low bar. It's a very low bar. But it's funny that Google's improvement in the last few years might be 9% unique content, which it was pretty amazing. So he's got 3 new tests, and you can check them out. The next set, entities, LSI, real sponsor, those are the tests, my tests that are going in the next 2 days. Looking at entities, a person, place, thing that Google can identify, that Google can get from the NLP API. Can we put those into a test environment and see if they move ranking? LSI is a relook at LSI, and it's a test I did a couple of years ago on our LSI ranking factors. And the thing that's interesting is that LSI and entities, I think, now are very much intertwined. And this might be there where Google has gotten a little bit better in terms of understanding contextual terms to a topic, and kind of entities and LSI are very close concepts when you look at what the output of those things actually are, and if they're actually a ranking factor at this point. Rel sponsored is a new hotness. I talked about this at Clint, as you know, at Rockstars, and looking at Google has recently said, we don't know if you're buying a link, and we would appreciate if you would just tell us.
Yep.
It would be better for us if you would just let us know if you bought this link. It's pretty much what Google has said, which is sad because they've talked a big game about knowing when links are bought, but clearly they don't know because they want you to put rel sponsored when you have purchased a link. So looking at does rel sponsored, if you put that on, does it still pass juice? And the last one that's coming up that I'll publish is about SEO structure, or URL structure, excuse me. I got into this thing. So the client or potential client contacted me to do an audit. They just done a site redirect, and all their pages were close to the .com/target page. They got our site redone, and the company that redid the site did .com/category/subcategory/page. So moving things multiple folders deep into the site. And I said, that's awful. Google does not want to crawl through a lot of folders. And this was an LA firm, huge SEO firm, and they make a lot of money. And they said that that doesn't matter at all. And I thought, that's ridiculous. And also they said, it's also a point of opinion and cannot be tested. And I was like, now I know they're idiots, because those are things that can absolutely be tested. And so the test that I'm going to load up is the test that I did to show this client, these guys are fucking morons.
Yeah,
and
you can't make claims like that.
it's
just begging to be proven wrong.
Challenge.
That's the thing. That's the thing I didn't understand. I was like,
the outcome is, because if you test it, either way they're wrong.
It's like, I mean, I realize you're like a $20,000 a month firm, and I'm like a $5,000 a month firm. I get that, and I get that you have some clout because you can get that, and like, I can prove you wrong. I can prove that this is an opinion. I can actually show you. So the test that I did to show these guys from LA is the test that I put in, or it's just going in the next 2 days. But God, that shit, it blows my mind. They were charging real deal money, like money that I have not really thought that I could charge. And they're talking about how it doesn't matter. They restructured the site and put the target page 3 folders deep. And they were trying to tell this guy, the client, that it didn't matter how deep a page was in the structure. And I just felt that was so common. Like, that's not even like an issue, was what I was thinking. But and the client was like, well, I mean, these guys, they're the preeminent LA firm. Like, they're saying this doesn't matter. And I was like, well, let me show you. And so the test was what I showed him of this is how it works. Google does not want to crawl deep into your site. They want to crawl the least amount they can because it costs them money. It costs them money to get deep into a site. And unless you're a very important site, they might spend the money to do that. But if you're a local site in LA, they don't want to go that deep. And let me show you how. And so that's the last test that I've got there.
That sounds like a cool one. It can get convoluted, like URLs could be nested deep with, the slugs, the folders in the URL. But those deep URLs could be linked to from a homepage, thus making them not deep to a crawler. So
which is true.
Complexities involved.
Sure. But this test is just looking at the base premise of if you're one folder deep versus two folders deep, does that make a difference?
Very cool.
This is what Ryan says looks like in IMG, with the idea of kind of the look that we've got going on. So you kind of get in, and then on the right hand side, when it was published, you published it, and then you can plus or minus it in a sense of like, is this a good test, is it a bad test? And then we're gonna have a comment area. The comment area isn't there yet, but that is coming soon as well. But this is kind of what they look like.
Very cool.
That's the thank you page. Thank you for listening.
So yeah, I think this was by far our most professional episode.
Is it because I'm in a boat? Like I'm in a boat right now?
Yeah. You're on a cruise ship. I have the kids home for, the Thanksgiving break. And
this hotel died in the 70s is what happened.
And you're traveling too, so you're on a different time again.
I don't even know what time it is. I assume it's...
So if we messed up your Black Friday special, we apologize. We are definitely not on our A game today.
It could be December 5th. It could be December 5th, and we're like past it by a week.
So again, how can people get those specials? You're going to email the members of IMG.
That's right. So everybody that's in IMG that signed up, they're going to get the email with all that in them. And we're going to wait a little bit too. So if somebody watches this and they're like, hey, I haven't signed up, they can sign up and they're going to get that email as well.
Yeah, and so that's open to everyone except Google employees. We make you sign a sworn statement that you're not working for Google.
Which is only fair.
Yeah. So, sorry, Google. We don't mean to offend you. We just can't let you in.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's our show. Are there any questions?
Looking for questions related to the deals, just because that's fair. Unless you want to go in the general questions too, there's a couple of those.
Hey, general, but I don't know anything about the deals other than what we said.
Yeah.
Contact the sites. We did a disclaimer at the beginning. We are not affiliated with them. We don't know. Don't contact us. This is what we know.
Yep.
The deals
We're not making any money off these deals.
No, we are not.
For the self-promotion pop one, that's Kyle's service. I
make money off of pop.
Yeah, that's it.
You might be surprised. By now. It is a source of income.
One deal that wasn't there, I didn't get it into the list soon enough, was Alex Barr. He's got that mass page plugin. It's called Directory Creator. I think he took it 50% off. So you go to directorycreator.com. So if you're sitting on some domains and you were like, hey, I should turn this into a directory because Google favors this, there's your opportunity to jump in on that. And Alex is a good guy, so I think you'll appreciate working.
Alex is a great guy. Alex is really, really good.
Yeah,
I love his stuff. I love when he talks. I love his stuff a lot.
Yeah, big lumberjack looking dude. He's kind of scary looking, but you actually talk to him. He's really nice.
He's a huge motherfucker.
Yes.
6'5", 6'6",
I think
6'5".
So. Yeah. I don't look up to too many people, but I look up to Alex.
We got
6'5" in the body to go with it too.
Yeah.
We got
he's not a gangly 6'5".
We got one question that the tests in IMG are a little too nerdy. Do we plan to explain them for normal people?
Too nerdy.
I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah. He added that.
I imagine, so we haven't really talked about this, but I imagine we'll have a walkthrough of all of them at some point. So to walk through those things so people can ask questions. But actually,
there is a chat section under each one of the tests. I did notice that. So
yeah, so that's the thing. Like, so I don't know if that is live now. If it's not, the idea is that there's going to be a whole comment section, so you can ask questions, and the person that's run the test will answer them.
Yeah.
So like, if there's a question the test you're not sure about, hey, what does this mean or what does that mean? You can actually post it, and then the person that ran the test will respond.
Right.
Is kind of the goal, so you can get some interactive chat with what are the implications of this test.
Oh, let's see. Okay, general questions. Kyle, what is your favorite link building method? Which really worth your time, as opposed to the ones that your favorite that are not worth your time.
the ones that I waste my time on. What is my favorite? So I assume it's an assumption. The person has seen my silo building concept. So I don't build any links to the target page anymore. I build all my links to my silo. And to be perfectly honest, it does not matter what type of links you build. Whatever you can easily build, so your lowest entry of barrier kind of link, you're an infographics guy, and you can do them quickly. YouTube video embeds, that's all you crush, and you can do them. Guest post links, PBNs, whatever it might be, whatever you can do the cheapest, I'm going to shoot that into my, not to my target page, because just because something goes wrong, like Google decides that link is terrible, you can kill your silo page and you have not harmed your target page. You can take that away, because then you control the links at that level. So my favorite thing is the thing you can do the cheapest and is the most effective for you. And I would build it into a target page, into a silo page, instead of the target, the ultimate target page.
Makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yep. This one's from Ran. What is the Sandbox episode you guys covered? I think Ted talked it. I don't know if we do one just covering Sandbox. I know you've talked on the Sandbox, but I don't know that we actually did one dedicated.
I'll give the 40-second elevator pitch. So the Sandbox is a phenomenon that we empirically witness. You can see it using the link operator in Google, which I know a lot of SEOs are cringing, saying it's not authoritative. And I agree, it doesn't matter that it's not authoritative, it's diagnostic. And by that, if your website has any backlinks showing, you're not in the Sandbox. If your website has no backlink showing, you're in the Sandbox. And what we mean by that, by the Sandbox, is how long does it take for your website to start getting credit for backlinks? And in the past, that's been as long as 10 months for new websites. At some point, Google figured out that most web spammers give up at 10 months. And I don't know what the time is today, so it's sometime between no Sandbox and 10 months. So that's the short of it. If you want to find out if you're in it, use the link operator, find out if Google shows any backlinks at all for your website. If you know they exist and they don't show up, then you are probably in the Sandbox.
And then his last question is for Kyle, but apparently he's in his bathroom, so we're going to wait. It's really odd that you carried us into the bathroom with you. Just throwing that out there.
Well, he's listening. He just doesn't want to show us. So
reflections in the mirror. That's good.
Or
objects in the rearview mirror may appear smaller than they really are.
He gets really excited when I talk about the Sandbox.
Allegations.
All right, Kyle, last question is for you. I'm interested in Kyle's course. Is it only for local SEO or also about content-based websites? You didn't say much about the course. Could you say something about what the course offers? Thank you.
So the course is how I do SEO. I mean, that's the bottom line. It's not local or national focused. It's literally how I do on page. And I don't hold anything back either. That's a couple of people I was like, what about all your secrets? Like, they're all in. I really don't feel like I have any secrets. Like, I'm on this show, I'm on other things and other podcasts that I've done, and I personally don't feel like I'm holding anything back. I feel like people think that I am, and it's a weird thing. but I hold nothing back. So like the course is exactly how I do SEO. And something that I've realized about SEO is that um, it's not techniques. SEO is a way to think. It's a framework, because SEO is problem solving. You know, every situation is different. If you're doing local SEO from one city to the next, there are different situations, and it requires different types of problem solving. So what I try to give in the course is a framework that you can use to problem solve for your situation. So if you understand SEO in this way, you have a framework then to figure out the answer to what you need to do. And that's what I feel the course does. So I don't think it matters what type of SEO you're doing, in terms of local to national to international. I do all of that, to e-com to whatever. But the idea is that you can get a framework out of it to problem solve your situation by understanding the types of keywords that exist, and where they go on your site, and how to interlink between things that you can get that 80-20 in a sense of like, if you do this, you're going to get 80% of your movement out of your on page. That's kind of the goal of what I teach. So it's not necessarily a local, it's like that's not where I'm at. Where I'm at is I want to teach you how to think about SEO the way I think about it. And then I've been successful in my SEO career. And I think if you take this process, it doesn't matter where you are with SEO, you can then figure it out and do better SEO. That's the end of the day. You also get access to me personally within the IMG chat platform, so that if you take the course, you can actually ping me directly and I answer within 24 hours. Any question you have. So you get direct access to me, and you'll get that for the next year, probably more. And the course will update too, so you'll get the updates and all that shit. But you can ping me and ask me questions, and I'm happy to answer them. Is that fair? Did I get anywhere near the question?
Well, to me, the short version is you can use your techniques on e-com, affiliate, national, whatever you want. It's not the basics. Like, I've been through it. To me, it's the basics, but it's a foundation that you can apply to any form of SEO or anything that you're trying to rank. That's the way I look at it.
It's also tool agnostic. Like, you don't need to be a pop person or a core person. I talk about pop. I do talk about Quora, but they're two small sections. The rest of it is really keyword agnostic or tool agnostic, and that you can use any tool you're comfortable using.
Yep.
You know, it's more of like, this is the concept, and then you can put that into anything that you're doing to, I think, for you to do better SEO. And then that was a real goal. Like, obviously I'm biased towards Pop and Quora. I love those tools. Obviously one is mine, one is Ted, and Ted is one of my best friends. But
That was weird if you hated Pop. Just saying.
but you don't need to use them. You know, you can take the concepts, and you don't need to use them to be successful in SEO, because successful SEO isn't a tool. You know, you have to be able to think how to use SEO to use Quora.
Yeah.
You have to think about how to use SEO to use Pop to get the most out of those types of tools. So that's what I really want to give. And if you don't like Quora and you don't like Pop, that's okay. It doesn't harm you. Like, you can still use the course and just use whatever tools you like the most to get the most out of SEO. Because really, at the end of the day, that's actually my goal. Like, I just want people to do better SEO.
Isn't it fair to say, using these tools, Surfer, Pop, Quora, whatever, it builds your skill set up enough that you already anticipate the major things, and you can essentially do pretty much the basic outline of what you have to do for SEO after you've gotten in the habit of doing it for so long with the help of the tool. So, and I use Quora as an example because Quora made me a better SEO, because there's just things that I wasn't thinking about, but I was seeing them all the time in Quora. And now I just know I'm going to go do that first before I even bother with the Quora run. I'm not going to waste my time. So isn't that an added benefit of the tools? And then the course, it gets you into that rhythm, is, I guess, a better, lack of a better word.
That's 100% right. Oh, Ted, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that, all SEO tools have this pattern where they tend to tell you how much you need of certain things, but none of them tell you how best to do it for your exact website.
Yeah.
So you still need that SEO that's able to think about the problem, think about the business, and figure out how best to get those quantities of things you need included. But all the tools tell you is they tell you how much.
Yeah, and that's true. Especially, and we pick on Ted a lot because of his documentation in there. It's getting better, but when we first started, it was, what is this? What does this mean? What does that mean? And at the end of the day, he'd tell you, and then you're like, so I need to add more of this. He's like, I don't know, go look at it and see what your competitors are doing. You know what I mean? So it's forcing you to research more, etc. So I think it's good. That's to me. And then a follow-on question: when you say you're building links to only the silo using anchor text, let me read it. When you say you're building no links to the target pages, only the silo, are you using anchor text, or does the link juice flow and the anchors on the internals covers it?
In the silo post, link in that post. So the thing that I've designated to link to my target page, the first link that I want at the very top, contextually, so in the body, will be exact match anchor is what I'm shooting for.
Yep. That's how I did it too. So my silo page is all exact match to my my target page, and then my anchor text is either exact match or variations or entities. I don't even use the generics anymore. So
Yep,
that's how
I do the exact same thing.
All right, and that is it. Well, there's one more question. It's, when is my course coming out? And I'm avoiding that question because I don't know. But yeah, that's the rest of it.
All
That's
right.
good.
Thank you so much,
Let's
everyone.
go.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Have a great Thanksgiving if you're in the US. And if you're not, you should probably eat a turkey anyway.
Yep. Turkeys are good. Don't forget, hit the thumbs up or thumbs down and click the subscribe and the bell to get notified when shows come on. We appreciate that. Engagement is engagement, and YouTube loves us more and says there's more free traffic if you help us out. So appreciate you, and have a great holiday.
Take care. Thanks, guys.